Shalom. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. Much respect to the brothers that are out there preaching and teaching the truth worldwide across the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and freedom for this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, the house of David, and the occupant Akwaf that might be listening to this lesson on today. This is your brother Abad Yabah, coming through with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And the title of this lesson is We All Need a Covering. Now, covering is defined as safety, security, and protection. And we're going to need all these things in these last days. And we're praying, we're hopeful that we'll be in that number when Yahweh Shah comes back. So we're doing our due diligence. We're studying, we're fasting, we're praying, we're following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our abilities. We're keeping a hand on the plow. We're as men doing our reasonable service. A multitude of things are required of us that we must do in order for us to stay on that narrow path of righteousness. But balance is what is needed and required as well. So we have to make sure that while we're doing these things, that we stay up under the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because we need that. We're getting attacked daily. There's many things that are trying to stop, block, and hinder us from doing the things that we should be doing for Yahweh Shem Yahushua, as far as distractions, as far as confusion, doubt, fear. Many things are coming against us, and we need that safety. We need that security. We need that protection, and we're not going to get it from man. We can only get it from someone that is trustworthy always, without fail. And the only one that can do that is Yahweh Shem Yahushua. He created us, and He will protect us as long as we're doing what we are purposed to do, and as long as we don't come up from out of that covering by doing wickedness, evil, and being of this world. So we need a protection. We all of us, and I say we all need it, meaning all of us that desire that salvation, all of us that desire to be on those chariots at the end of this thing. We all need a covering, because without that covering, we're amongst the world, and we will be destroyed if we don't have that covering. If we don't, even this grace period is necessary for us. But without further ado, I'm going to go into my first scripture. And these scriptures, I pray, well, first and foremost, this lesson be edifying, but these scriptures, I pray, will be encouraging to those that might be watching this lesson, that will watch this lesson. And I pray that Yahweh Shem Yahushua will strengthen you in the time of need. And that is right now. And we're in that moment right now. So once again, without further ado, my first scripture is Psalms 44:8. And it reads, it says, I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only maketh me dwell in safety. So when you sleep and when you slumber, you can't do anything for yourself. Your sleep. And some of us sleep deeply. So we need to know that someone is keeping us safe, keeping us secure, and protecting us. And those angels that Yahweh Shem Yahushua has placed around us with a hedge protection, and that protection is when we're even asleep. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is keeping us safe, and He's downloading us the things that we're going to need to do for that day, that next day. But He's also protecting us while we sleep and slumber. And if we have the faith, if we have the trust, if we have the belief that we know this to be true, over our lifespan, we've been protected in our sleep, and it's only because His will is for us to be protected. But if we were outside of that covering, who's going to protect us? If Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not, who's going to protect us? We can't protect ourselves. We can have guns. We can have all kind of things that we consider that protect us. We can have alarms on our house, but no one is going to be able to protect us like Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So we need Him, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to cover us, and not anything that's man-made or anything that could be built or created by man. It has to be Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the angels, and the spiritual covering that we have that's going to protect us. Psalms 5 and 11 reads, it says, but let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. So this lets us know we have to have the names. This lets us know that we can only rejoice because Yahweh Shem Yahshua has us. We can't be in this world and rejoice because there's so many things that's going to cause our focus, that cause our, our our mindset to be away from Yahweh Shem Yahshua. So how can we rejoice? We're too busy trying to chase the bag. We're too busy trying to be over the Joneses and have what the Joneses have. We're too busy chasing the world itself in order to be in a joyful state. And when I say be in a joyful state, to be able to know that there's something greater than this, knowing that this is going to soon be over. The people in this world are wanting this to continue on. They're looking 20 years on down the line. We are desiring for it to be over soon. And when we say soon, by the end of, before the end of this year, so we are in that joyful state because we're trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahshua. He said he will never leave us. He said he'll never forsake us. He said he will protect us. He said he will keep us even in the midst of our, lowest state, so we will rejoice because we know that Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to protect us. He's going to keep us, no matter what. So those that don't have this truth, that don't have this understanding, that don't have the wisdom of this, of the scriptures, they are not even concerned because they don't even know what's going on. They're like zombies. They're like, sheep that just being, in the pasture just wandering about, but they have no shepherd. But we do. And we are knowing where we're going. We're knowing where our destination will be. We just have to stay in the fight, and we just have to stand in the midst of all of this adversity and keep pushing forward, because we want to make it to that destination. We're hopeful that we'll be in that number once again when Yahweh Shai comes back. Psalms 91 and 14 reads, it says, because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he hath known my name. And this is from Yahweh Shem Yahshua speaking, saying that those that love him, that put him where he should be and acknowledge him, he's going to protect those that trust in my name. And once again, the name is so important. You can't just be saying God and Jesus and just any old type of name and thinking that it's okay. Other camps outside of GMS say, you can just call them whatever you want to, or you can just say this and say that. But if you're really in tune, if you really have a relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahshua, that the names are important. And it's saying in the scripture, it's not saying a name, it's saying my name. His name, Yahweh, is important. Yahweh Shai's name is important because you have to say, in the name of Yahweh Shai, So we can't just look over what the truth is, and we can't make it up, and we can't make it benefit us. We have to make sure that we're teaching and putting forth the word correctly, because if not, those that will listen will be confused, and the blood will be upon our hands. So we have to make sure that we let it be known. The names are important, and if we do what we do when we acknowledge him and we trust in his name and we trust in him, meaning Yahweh Shem Yahshua, then we will be protected, and he's gonna take care of us. He's gonna make sure that we're rescued, even if we're in a situation. So we have to make sure that we understand what the truth is, and understand that we have a Father that loves us, and we have to make sure that we show that we love him by doing what we are supposed to do and diligently seeking him daily. Psalms 112 and 7 reads, it says, he shall not be afraid of evil tidings. His heart is fixed, trusting the Lord. So no matter what comes about, no matter what news is being, whether it be, the famine of food, the famine of the word, or wars being, coming about, or the MOTB, or a new uh, strain of sickness or disease or pestilence or whatever the case may be, we're going to be confident that Yahweh Shema Shai is going to take care of us. He's going to cover us. He's going to protect us. He's going to allow us to be secure in Him and not this world. No matter what comes about, martial law, like I said, there's a multitude of things, earthquakes, a multitude of things that can come about, and we will be able to trust in Yahweh Shema Shai because He is going to protect us, and we are having our faith deeply rooted in knowing that He's going to do what He said. Isaiah 41:10 reads, it says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." So right here, Yahweh Shema Shai is saying, don't be afraid because He's going to be there. We're not alone as long as we have Him. And he's saying that, we shouldn't even be concerned about what's going on because He is over us. He created us. So we're His children, and He's going to protect us. He's going to strengthen us, and He's going to continue to keep us with His right hand of His righteousness. You know what I'm saying? So we have to make sure that we meditate on that, have faith and trust in that, in the scriptures itself, and not worry about what this world says or what this world is doing, because the world can't help you when all hell breaks loose. Only Yahweh Shema Shai can. Only your faith, can help you when all hell breaks loose. And we have to make sure that we are, once again, studying to show ourselves approved, diligently seeking Him, and having that discernment of things, not being confused, not being, not being wicked, not being evil, not being petty, but have our mind stayed upon Yahweh Shema Shai and the things of this world and the distractions of this world, the demons that are trying to possess you, they will flee because you are keeping your mind stayed upon Yahweh Shema Shai to where nothing can enter in. You're not leaving any doors open. All the doors will be closed to the distraction, but your mind will be open to Yahweh Shema Shai. Isaiah 54:17 reads, it says, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord." So anything that comes against you, whether it be man-made or spiritual, weapons that come against you, it's not going to prosper. Yahweh Shema Shai is going to protect you. He's going to give you safety. He's going to give you security. He's going to give you protection. That is the benefit of being His child, of being an Israelite and knowing who you are, knowing the names, knowing what you have to do, what is your reasonable service, knowing that we have Him, Yahweh Shema Shai, to back us. And with that, we don't worry about the things of this world, the bullies of this world, the demons of this world, the ones that come against us with wickedness in their heart to try to destroy us. No matter what, our mind is stayed upon Yahweh Shema Shai. Our trust and belief and faith is in Yahweh Shema Shai. And if we do that, He's going to protect us no matter what it looks like. So hold fast to that and understand that Yahweh Shema Shai is not going to let anything happen to you as long as you're doing His will and being that living sacrifice and willing servant unto Him. I'm not saying that harm cannot be done to you, but He's going to protect you. When I say that He's going to allow you to be in your rightful place when Yahweh Shai comes back. And that's all that we're desiring. You know what I'm saying? No one is concerning ourselves by having a position or having a place in this wicked kingdom. We're concerned about doing our reasonable service so we can be in our rightful place when the kingdom, the true kingdom, arises. So he's going to protect you, your spirit, for that, to be in those new bodies, to be in your rightful place, and to know that you did your reasonable service and that you were pleasing unto him, everything that you did. Because we know this world is through. You know, Jake is going about living his best life, having all these things that he's placing before Yahweh Shem Yahshua. And when all hell breaks loose, he's going to try to find his safety, his security, and his protection. And that's something that we already have right now. And we don't want to lose sight of that. And we don't want to lose that by going off. So we have to continue to push forward. Revelations 3:10, my final scripture reads, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So, because we are about our Father's business, because we're doing the work, because we're being steadfast and unmovable in the word and in the faith, because we're standing strong in the midst of adversity and the trials and tribulations that come, because Yahweh Shem Yahshua is going to test and try us as gold and silver is tried, because he wants to see himself in us. So yes, things are going to come about, but he's going to protect us. He's going to secure us. He's going to keep us safe. But we have to do the work, and we have to make sure that we're not being lazy nor slowful in these times. And we have to also know that he's going to protect us when all these things come about. Jacob's trouble, martial law, civil war, earthquakes, pestilence, a multitude of things that will distract, destroy, confuse the man that is without the word, without the covering. But we have the covering once again, and he's going to protect us, and he's going to make sure that while everything is going on around us, we will have that hedge of protection around us. We will be secure and we will be safe, because that's what he does for his children. Those that truly love him, he will take care of them. So with that being said, we know that we're taken care of. We have a covering, and we want to stay up under that covering. So we know what we have to do in order to stay up under that covering. And I pray that anyone that watches this lesson takes heed to stay up under the covering, continue to be steadfast and unmovable, stay on the path of righteousness, and not let anything distract you or take you away from that. Don't fall out, and continue to be in this truth faithfully and stand strong. And with that, we know that Yahweh Shem Yahshua has us. So that is the conclusion of my lesson. I pray that all were listening were edified. And as always, I give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Until my next lesson, Shalom.